Oh, hey guys. So it took me about 3 hours to get the engine out. I had to pull the converter out with the engine because being the engine locked up, I couldn't undo the bolt. So the torque converter had to come out with it. And you can see down below maybe, yeah, there's a big freaking mess. I have time to get the kitty litter out and throw a bunch of that down there so I can clean it up. And I will definitely be replacing the transmission seal, just in case there did any damage there when I pulled out the, the torque converter with the engine. So let me get this torque converter unbolted. Let me get the engine mounted on the stand. We'll start pulling plugs. We'll start, pulling valve covers. We'll start checking, my push rods. We'll start checking the roller rockers, make sure nothing there is seized. We'll pull the front cover off. See if we can get the camshaft out, see if what's going on with the timing chain, and then we'll get to the bottom end and see, was it a rod or was it a main that decided to lock up? So anyway, let me get this thing mounted up on a stand and we'll kind of go through it. Look right here, guys. There is rod bearing material. So we spun a rod bearing. So it looks like the crankshaft itself, actually the main bearings on the crank are fine, but we lost a rod bearing. So that's what caused the damage, guys. The cylinder walls, from what I can tell, look good. So I'm going to go ahead and finish taking this apart and see what the damage is. So as you guys can see here, I wiped out a couple of rod bearings. So I'll walk over here in a second and I'll show you what the crankshaft now looks like. So now as you can see, here's basically, what that one looks pretty good, this is, that one's good. This one, yeah, not so much. You can see here it pretty much wiped out the crank. This is probably not salvageable. You can see, this one's actually not bad and this one's, real good. But yeah, that one's toast. So, all right, guys, as you can see, I've got a whole lot of parts here laid out. Was able to get everything out. Timing chain looks to be in great shape. The heads are in good shape. My roller rockers, are fine. I'll double check, all the tips, just to make sure here. I'll take these off and just make sure, these are nice and smooth action. Excuse me. Make sure, like I said, all these, are in good shape, good action. I'll roll my push rods to make sure they're nice and flat and didn't get damaged. But basically we spun a couple of bearings, on the block here. So it is what it is. I'm currently looking for another junkyard motor. You can see now I've got a mess to clean up. So, it is what it is. I've reached out to somebody for a motor right now on Facebook Marketplace. Hopefully they'll get back to me pretty quick. And then I'll do a video on that, the teardown of a junkyard motor, and show you what I'm going to do to inspect it once I get it home. Basically, I'm going to put my whole upper end on it. I'm going to put my cam in it, my timing chain, my heads, my intake, I'll run the headers, I'll put my oil pan on it. So, I need to put a list of a parts list together. I've got some stuff. I've got, valve cover gaskets, I've got intake gaskets, I've got an oil pan gasket, but I may try to get the one-piece Magnum, oil pan gasket. I need to get some head gaskets. I think I've got the gaskets for the water pump and timing chain cover. I need to double check that. So I've got a bunch of the gaskets to reassemble it. But, when I get the other motor, basically a junkyard motor, just to get through this event, maybe into spring until I, can save enough funds to build a good motor. I'm going to take it apart, obviously, probably pull the main caps off, pull the couple rod bearings just to make sure everything looks good, pop a new oil pump in it, clean it real good, probably put a little makeup on it, at least some paint just to make it look decent, you know, and then pop it all together. So anyway, that's it for this video. You can see the carnage that took place on this motor and what I'm going to do to try to get another motor. Probably won't get any hits before Rocky Mountain Race Week. But, you know, I'll probably go on the road and, you know, at least make it something, you know, just a little 1-2 shift just to make sure everything's good, feels good, make sure everything's tight, nothing, no leaks, you know, that kind of stuff before the journey starts. So anyway, guys, like, subscribe, hit the little bell for future content, and thanks for taking the time to watch.